On Fox One, you can stream your favorite news, sports, and entertainment live all in one app.
It's raw
and unfiltered.
This is the best thing ever.
Watch breaking news as it breaks.
Breaking tonight, we're following two major stories.
And catch history in the making. Debates, drama,
touchdown.
It's all here, baby. Fox One, we live for live. Streaming now.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Fantasy football can be exhausting. I mean that literally. You're so anxious over your lineup, you can't fall asleep. Best way to deal with it is Unisom. There's a reason it's the #1 doctor-recommended over-the-counter sleep aid brand. It helps you fall asleep faster, wake up less, and feel refreshed in the morning. Plus, Unisom sleep tabs are clinically tested and proven effective and completely non-habit forming. So make the ultimate sleeper pick and put it to bed with Unisom. Use as directed.
So when the pressure's on, you remember the people who helped you get this far, whose knowledge guided you and whose care kept you grounded. For me, it was my dad, my mentor, who believed in me when I was just getting started in journalism. A real-life example that showed me when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, that's exactly how they approach banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. See what knowledge and care can do for you at truist.com/unstoppable. Truist, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 commercial bank.
Former Panther Jerricho Cotchery has a lot to do with this region. He played his college football at NC State, played 2 years, his final 2 seasons in the league with the Carolina Panthers, including that Super Bowl 50 team, and then went on to be the head coach at Limestone College in Gaffney. We'll catch up with the guy that caught it during Super Bowl 50, Jerricho Cotchery.
30 seasons of Panther football, a celebration of the players, coaches, and other key figures who've contributed to the organizational success.
Man, you think about the Super Bowl season and what that was. Jerricho Cotchery, Panthers wide receiver. His name is a phrase from that game. Cotchery caught it. Panther fans believe it. We believe it. You've been asked the question before, but for those who haven't heard it before, key moment in the game. They do a long review. They say you didn't catch a pass in a key situation. Turnover happens a few plays after that. But in the moment and in the 10 years since then, as you look at that play, no one play determined the outcome of that game. But what were your thoughts? And you're nobody closer to that play than Jerricho Cotchery.
Yeah, a crazy play. I mean, we had a great year, going up and going into the Super Bowl and having that moment there, it was very exciting, But that play in particular, I mean, definitely caught it. Everyone on the sideline, our sidelines, congratulating me, before the review, even takes place and during the review. And, we all was just kind of in shock when they came back with the, call is going to stand on the field. And so, one play doesn't make it, things of that nature. But that certainly was a momentum-shifting play.
So we kind of started at the end. Let's go back to the beginning of what was a great season, 14 consecutive wins. And really prior to that, 2014, the way you guys wrapped up. And Jerricho, by the way, was 2014, 2015, his years with the Panthers. So you kind of hit that sweet spot where it probably didn't feel too sweet at first when you guys were sitting there 3-8-1 before you went on that 4-game winning streak to get into the playoffs in 2014.
Yeah, I like how you bring up that moment right there because that catapulted us into – the all season and into the 2015 season that we were able to have. That was a moment of truth right there for us. We had just gotten beaten down by the Vikings in the freezing cold, and so we had to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what, at this moment, at this juncture right here, we are not a good team, right? Not that we don't have good players or anything like that. We are not a good team, and so we got to get things fixed. And I know for us offensively, a lot of people don't know about this, but we went no huddle from that point forward. And I got to give credit to the coaching staff, Mike Shula, Ken Dorsey, John Masco, P. Hayner, Jim Skipper, all of those guys there. They came back in, Cam Turner. These guys came in, Ricky Prohl, and said, this is what we are good at. When we get into this, Cam has been doing this his entire life. He's been in no huddle, shotgun, all of this. And this is how we're going to operate moving forward.
And Riverboat Ron became a thing. All of that, going for it on fourth downs. So there was a kind of a psyche and a mindset change during that season, right?
It really was, right? Because once we made that switch on offense, the very first game, we scored 41 points in New Orleans. And I think that gave us great confidence in what we could be moving forward. And we went on that 4-game winning streak and got into the playoffs, beat Arizona here at home, and took Seattle to the brink. So we knew that we were able to compete with those guys. And you go into the offseason feeling good about where you are as a team. And we competed like crazy in the offseason. A lot of chirping going back and forth. But the camaraderie that we had, that we were building in the offseason, I think it carried over into training camp and showed up on the field when the regular season came.
And obviously high-scoring offense come 2015 out of that offseason. Despite the fact your receivers room, I was down there today in training camp when Kelvin Benjamin out for the season in a joint practice session with Miami. But to guys like yourself and Devin Funchess, I think was a rookie that year, Ted Ginn, Philly Brown, it was a nice combination of different skill sets that kind of blended together in that receivers room.
And that's the thing. When you're looking from the outside in, you want to try to look at, who's Justin Jefferson or who's Jamar Chase or who's look at the skill sets that you have. You got guys that can get open, guys that can catch it, big guys that can, run, and you got guys that can, just take the top off. We had an element of all of that, and that's what made us difficult, right? Ended up leading the league in scoring that year because we had a guys with, a variety of skill sets. And so really, that was tough to watch KB go down. For sure. I called him my little brother. I saw in one interview he said, Koch is like a dad, So he made me out be a little older than I was, but no, it was certainly sad to see him go down because he was ready to take off that year.
Well, and you guys put it all together. Obviously, you've got great talent when you look at guys like Greg Olsen that help in that receiving component of the game. And Cam Newton was a special weapon in so many different ways, whether it be throwing or running the way he did in the MVP-type season like that. And just kind of take us into that huddle, into the locker room. What was it like playing with peak Cam Newton? Because he had, some really special years, but that was the number one year MVP season. And then there were other years with injuries, and then the career, like for many, would tail off towards the end. But at his very best, what was it like being on the field with Cam Newton?
Cam is the ultimate competitor. I think people have to just see that, people look at the fun that he had, the dances and all of that stuff, the Sunday giveaway, running to the stands and dabbing and all of those things, but he competed like crazy, right? Every single day. He just didn't live for the Sunday, competition every single day in practice. And he's one of the main ones with the chirping, because he was competing like crazy. And you had to rise to that level, when it came to being ready to go for that day. And that's what you want. That's what you want out of your leader. And it was just good to see, that the team became his. It became his when I got here. And I think he was one of the main guys that moved us into that era.
Did you know that would be your last season? Did you know the Super Bowl would be your last game?
I did. I wanted to play 12 and move on to the next thing. I always felt like I was going to play and then coach. Some people say ride it till the wheels fall off and things of that nature, but I like my wheels. And so, but I wanted to play 12, and God gave me 12. Human nature, when you lose the Super Bowl, you lose the last game like that, you kind of think about it, and I certainly did think about it. Man, should I ask them to run it back, one more year, because we were close and we can do it again. We got the culture and everything to do it again, but at the end of the day, it was time to move on.
And you did, and you got into coaching. I know you did some pro assistant coaching, and then most recently Limestone University. Anybody who lives in Charlotte knows on the way to what was training camp in Spartanburg is Gaffney and Limestone University. And you were an assistant coach for a couple years, and then last year had the opportunity to be a head coach, and you go 8-3. But you tell the story from there. Unfortunately, in today's economics, money and not just the sports program, the university just didn't have the money to keep going, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had things going there as a football program. We were 8-3, in the regular season in the past 3 years. Been to the playoffs. Almost 30 all-conference guys, All-Americans, guys. We were putting out a lot of good players and giving guys great opportunities to go and continue to play football. And just once they were done with football, giving them that great mindset of how to work and how to go about your business. We benefited a lot of guys in that 3-year period. And so to see it all just kind of, go away, it was really, really sad, just a hard moment in football for me, being a leader and not even knowing that was, a thing that could come about, and so, but fortunately, most of my staff, they got other opportunities, and my players got in good places, so really, really happy about that. Now, the next thing for me is just to figure out where I'm going to be, because I'm certainly looking to continue to coach.
Well, I'm sure you'll land on your feet, and people love you in this region, from NC State to the Panthers to down at the Limestone in South Carolina. You're a big part of this region. We appreciate everything you've done.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
30 seasons of Panther football.
Witness the new season of Reasonable Doubt, streaming on Hulu September 18th. LA's most successful attorney, Jack Stewart, defends a young actor accused of murder. Follow Emayati Corinaldi, Morris Chestnut, Joseph Sikora, and guest stars Cash Doll and Lori Harvey as they face off in the year's most sensational trial. In the pursuit of justice, every move counts. Reasonable Doubt Season 3 is streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus September 18th. Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Lily is a proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for Lily's Duets for Type 2 Diabetes campaign that celebrates patient stories of support. Share your story at mounjaro.com/duets. Mounjaro tirzepatide is an injectable prescription medicine that is used along with diet and exercise to improve blood sugar, glucose, in adults with type 2 diabetes mellitus. Mounjaro is not for use in children. Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or vision changes. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills, and before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and may cause kidney problems. Once weekly Mounjaro is available by prescription only in 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, and 15 milligram per 0.5 milliliter injection. Call 1-800-LILY-RX, 800-545-5979, or visit mounjaro.lilly.com for the Mounjaro indication and safety summary with warnings. Talk to your doctor for more information about Mounjaro. Mounjaro and its delivery device base are registered trademarks owned or licensed by Eli Lilly and Company, its subsidiaries or affiliates.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo! Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.